What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Yeah, started shaking my desk, started going nuts. You know why? Because it was a smash. Hulk smash here on this program on Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed your Labor Day. Hopefully you caught Lindy's Locks update where I threw Houston and Texas over 9.5, which shot into the atmosphere. 13-5. Houston went berserk there later on in the game as well. Shohei Ohtani was just scratched here. So my Baltimore bet is looking really, really good here as well. That game is about to start here very, very shortly. But happy to have some Baltimore money line and -1.5 tickets. Hopefully you have the same. Check out Lindy's Locks update every single Monday through Friday over on X. It is the artist formerly known as Twitter. That's at Eric Lindquist, my name. You find it there. You can follow me. It's lovely. We just hit 10,000 followers. I'm going to be doing a giveaway shortly here for week 1. Really appreciative of everybody checking out my content here on the daily. It's especially nice when all the screenshots flooded. So nicely to see. Well, I won a lot of money, but there's some other people who won a lot of money and parlayed my picks together, which I did not do. So go you guys. You're the real ones, but appreciate everybody and the love here on this program. We have NFL Lindy's coming out on Friday, but of course, we got 15 games here. Maybe the changing point, maybe the tide turning was producer Alicia. I think so. Producer Jacob's just vacationing and being an overall idiot, but it's fine. We love producer Jacob. Doesn't mean he can't be dumb from time to time, but producer Alicia, Hart, good to have her back here from the NBA streets into the MLB streets. She's basically undefeated here on this program now. If Baltimore can get it done for us, we'll find out. You'll let me know in the comment section below. But hopefully you guys were able to enjoy that Monday. Let's start looking ahead to Tuesday here. I'll talk about Caesar Sportsbook a little bit later. You can sign up for that below, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Producer Alicia. Let's get to the picks. So one of the sad things, like one of the absolute Hulk smashes of all Hulk smashes that I didn't end up firing in bulk was the Minnesota money line. Yeah, it was a but it was one of those things where, like, I don't know, half unit felt good. They're up 9-1 in the 4th inning. Now they're up 11-1, and Joey Gallo just hit a home run, which, like, I guess that's all he does. Either it's a home run or he strikes out 4 times, so that's fun. God, it's a beautiful time to be a Twins fan. Anyway, we got to keep beating up on these AL Central dog crappy whatevers. Even though Tanner Beebe's really good at pitching. So this is an annoying spot to me. Sonny Gray, been awesome here for my Twins all season long. Been lovely to watch him come to fruition in his, second, third year with us? Anyway, he's very, very good. 299 xWOBA, 362 expected slugging, 24.2% K rate, and just a 6.5% barrel percentage. He uses a combination of pitches. He's one of those guys who I like to think that he just really likes to think about pitching, likes to throw different combinations, isn't just a one-trick pony, but he throws a 4-seamer, a sinker, a cutter, a changeup, a curve. He has lots of pitches, and generally, if you have 5 or 6 pitches, you have 0 pitches. That's kind of something I believe, but he's one of the guys who fits into the mold of, like, I'm going to throw little variations of my pitches to account for the matchup. And this matchup is a tough one when it comes to strikeouts. Not in terms of run creation, but Cleveland dead last in baseball in terms of K rate, 19%, tied with Washington, but they carry just a 95 WRC plus against these righties, and that's where I think Sonny Gray definitely has a path to success here. But on the other side, it's not like I'm going to go out of my way to go pick on Tanner Beebe and these numbers. A 296 xWOBA, 373 expected slugging, a 24.2% K rate, and a lower than Sonny Gray, 6.1% barrel percentage himself. So, like, what are we doing here? Oh my God, Kyle Farmer just in a home run. They're up like 15-1 now. Anyway, I'm hoping none of this happens here on Tuesday. I hope the Twins win a 1-0 ball game because the under of 8 is what Daddy's looking at. And what Daddy wants, Daddy gets. Never calling myself Daddy again, even though I do it all the time in the Discord. But it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Under 8. That's not a joke. Like it. The Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates here in PNC Park for another round of Who Gives a Flying F? Well, at least on one end. A lot of NLTs, I mean, they definitely care about how Milwaukee's doing. They're 76-60. They're playing good baseball. You know, it is what it is. NL is going to be wild this year, guys. I have no idea where to put my money. Again, futures, That's generally Greg Ehrenberg's thing here on the old Stochastic and Odd Shopper YouTube channels. But just saying, I have no lean on what the NL is going to look like because, well, one of the guys, Brandon Woodruff, back in the fray here, not the band, the baseball, like fray, the Milwaukee Brewers, everyone knows he's in over his head. With 8 seconds left in overtime, he's got a good whip and a good ex-woba and really good numbers across the board in terms of peripherals. So, like, we're not going out of our way to go pick on him with these Pittsburgh Pirates, that's for sure. But we have no idea who's going to be on the mound here for Pittsburgh in any way, shape, or form. I have a couple of guesses, and yes, I've done the work because that's kind of my job to figure out who it's going to be. I think Andre Jackson ends up being the guy, but again, this is just kind of an educated guess. He pitched on the 30th. Math tells me 5, carry the 1. 6 days. Yeah, he should be good. You should be good here. Andre Jackson, not the best pitcher in the pond, friends. 4.47 ERA, but a 1.16 whip is not terrible. It's not terrible. So he's somebody who's been extended from that middle relief, deeper reliever type to being a starter here for this team. And, well, he's got 3 starts now in 13 games that he's pitched. I think he gets the start here yet again. Maybe they do an opener thing because that's all the rage. It's like Spanx back when they came out, or male equivalent. I'm just going to lean on this one. Milwaukee -1.5 and not talk anymore. It's a good idea most of the time for me. Just talk less. It's what my wife tells me. She's smarter than me. Producer Alicia just informed me that she has never seen Back to the Future. Well, actually, she hadn't seen Back to the Future until yesterday, which is wild to me because that should tell you the younger generation needs to grow the fuck up and figure their shit out. That's what I believe. Just put on some, watch good movies. Keep your trashy Netflix 48th movie in the queue crap that has Ali Wong in a movie you don't care about. Actually, you know what? I can't say that. I can't bring up Ali Wong in a negative light. I love her. But there's some really bad movies in the back end of that queue. Anyway, I'm not starting over. You thought I was going to start over? No, we're going to continue on. Boston Red Sox taking on the Tampa Bay Rays here. And Cutter Crawford, Zach Eflin. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Zach Eflin, been very good with this Tampa Bay team, no doubt about it. Came from Philadelphia. They revamped his pitch mix a tiny bit. Sinker, cutter. They've added the curve as a higher usage pitch here this season. It's resulted in good stuff. 272 xWOBA, 25.4% K rate, just a 3.4% walk rate. That's as good as you will ever find in starting pitchers in baseball. If you're going to walk 3.4% of the dudes who come to the plate, life is looking spiffy. The word of the day, spiffy. You know who's also spiffy? Cutter Crawford on the other side of this one with a 34.9% K rate. Overall, 218 expected batting average, 6.1% walk rate. So why is it that I was even contemplating anything in this game? Well, Boston has those lefties. They end up calling up Abreu as well with a 53.8% hard hit percentage in just 13 batted ball events. But overall, I like his AAA numbers. I like the profile of the young prospect. You add in Trevor Story and Adam Duvall as the righties that are going to show up in this lineup. It's a pretty good lineup. And yet Boston makes me want to bash my head against a wall because I never know what's coming next from this baseball team. I predict them in certain spots. Some people are like, oh, we got to fade them from now on. Or it's, oh, I'm never betting Boston again. I'm not one of those people. But Boston's really frustrating to bet right now, especially in a spot like this where it's a pitcher's park. I think run creation is going to be more difficult. And I do want to fire plus 136, and my sheet actually has this as a like play. I'm going against it. We have 15 games on this slate, every team in play. Don't play thin plays, especially with the NFL coming down the pipeline. Let's be smart with our bankroll, not overextend it and have 15 plays on a card for no reason whatsoever. Boston money line. Yes, this could be a last play in if you're looking for something, but I think I'm going to just stay away, keep it in my bankroll for another day. I just may. What do you say? Hey. The Los Angeles Dodgers head into Miami. Oh, we head into Miami. That's not the words. But party in the city when the heat is on all night to the beach to the break of dawn or something like that. Sounds fun. I'd like to do that right now. I did nothing but watch baseball all day and continue to build out my studio. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I need a drink. I actually don't because I already sound like an insane person, like sober. So I could use a little fuel myself, and we could all use a little change. Well, the years start coming and they don't start coming. But Clayton Kershaw's immune to it. Just hit the ground running. 27% K rate, 293 XWO, but everything's good. Everything's awesome. The pitch count starting to extend back up. We're starting to get some traction there. Again, there's no point for them to extend him to 85 pitches. And again, the Cleveland start, you got to throw that out the window because 33 pitches, 2 innings that he had pitched there. He got rain shortened, and then they continued the game the next day. The Dodgers bashed their faces in. It was beautiful stuff. But 71, 79 pitches in his last 2 games with actual pitch counts. I think 85 is probably what you're looking for this time around. I think that makes it an interesting play on the Dodgers side. But here's the thing. I think we could get a better number than this come tomorrow, plus 120 on the run line. I'm going to just sit and wait. And if it falls, I'll probably just stay away. But if it goes to plus 125, it'll probably get added to the card as a half unit play. But something I always on high alert for are some really strong splits that we get with pitchers in good parks like Jesus Luzardo, Southpaw, but just happens to be facing somebody who might get an undervalued home run prop like, I don't know, Mookie Betts. Have you seen this crap of late? Because Jesus Luzardo, yes, he strikes out 26.8% of righties. He strikes out 34.1% of lefties. So Max Muncy, Freddie Freeman, maybe they get to go party in Miami tonight. Would it be tonight? Yeah, it'd be Monday night, Labor Day. Max Muncy for sure could, get sat and just chill. Just chill, bro. Because a 125 expected ISO, that Jesus Luzardo, pretty good at limiting the power there, but he's had a bit of a righty problem even in this ballpark. He's got a 198 expected ISO on the season, and he's going to face Mookie Betts at the top of this lineup, who has a 381 expected ISO against lefties. What? Rappy? Mookie Betts in a tough ballpark to hit it out of? If I'm getting better than plus 300, this is Instabet. This is like Instabet category, but I think that's what we could be walking into here with Mookie Betts. And may I repeat, 381 expected ISO and 14 homers against lefties on the season, 23.2 degree average launch angle. Even in this ballpark, I don't care. I don't care. I will bet it. It sounds fun. I like money. How about you? Let's bet things, and that's what we'll do. I don't want to keep rhyming. I'm done. To Great American Small Park we go, where I have Paulay. What you know about Paulay? Oh, bootstraps. Little Pirates of the Caribbean for people who care. Also, the first one, only good one. Can we get another one that's actually good and not CGI'd to death and doesn't have, not Johnny Depp? We need Johnny Depp in another Pirates. Also, if you haven't seen that Netflix documentary of him and Amber Heard, it is wild. Strongly suggest a watch on that puppy. A little bit crazy. And it's only 3 episodes, so check it out. Anyway, we got Mr. Miller, Mr. Phillips, and, well, this is an interesting spot. I'm pretty positive I'm going to be parlaying this to the moon. I don't want to lock it because I'm never going to lock a parlay on this video unless I am absolutely certain that it is undervalued. But in this case, this is definitely going to be a like, mainly because I do think Miller has a decent enough pitching profile to succeed in Cincinnati. And there aren't many people that I'm going to give that nod to. But yes, he has a 19.2 degree average launch angle with only a 32.1% ground ball percentage. Yes, he has a 43.2% hard hit percentage, but he's pretty good against some of these righties. And looking at some of these righties on the Cincinnati side, whether it's Tyler Stevenson, Spencer Steer, Hunter Renfroe, newly acquired here, Nick Senzel, if he ends up in a lineup, I think that that's a decent enough pedigree where right on right, he's going to succeed and limit some of the hard contact that's plagued him against lefties. And you're still looking at like TJ Friedel, only a 26.3% hard hit percentage. You've got Jake Fraley on the shelf to a certain extent, and lots of pieces in Cincinnati. Ellie De La Cruz struggles as a lefty a little bit. So I got to say, it's not my favorite spot to just go way crazy with Bryce Miller, but even a struggle by him makes me a little bit optimistic that we can hit an over here in combination with a play that I am very bullish on, which is the Seattle money line. Now, I don't think there's a ton of value at minus 162 here, but I combine that against Connor Phillips, who has a 3.77 ERA, 1.40 whip, and doesn't really strike out a ton of dudes across AAA here. He's only 22, and he's basically getting called up for the first time here. And Seattle's red hot, destroying everybody, just murdering baseballs. Yeah, I'm interested. Are you interested? Because I'm interested. Seattle money line plus the over of 10. I think this is a play that I kind of want to just have correlation to because if Phillips struggles in his debut here, Miller could keep some of those lefties in check. We're in a really good spot to be plucking this over because it's Great American Ballpark. So Seattle money line plus over 10. Think it's something that's better as a parlay than individual, which I almost never say. Now, I always say bet yourself over at these sports books when you get promotions, and this is the best one on the board that I've seen here for NFL season. Yes, NFL starting Thursday. Get your head. Oh, I almost quoted. You know, I'm going to quote High School Musical. Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Bet $50, get $250, friends. You bet $50 on anything you want in the MLB streets, the college football streets for Mac Daddy season coming up on Wednesday. If you want to be betting the Thursday night football game, Detroit, Kansas City, be my guest, put my service to the test, but bet $50 around your next hoodie and we'll provide the rest, $250 in bonus bets. We got hot hors d'oeuvres. We only live to serve Caesar's Sportsbook. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask other bettors. That didn't rhyme. But you're going to get yourself five $50 bonus bets when you check out Caesar's Sportsbook. Friends, this is the good stuff. Sportsbooks are begging you to try out their product because they're like, oh, we don't think you can beat us. We think that you're fine. We're going to give you these promotions. But if you're checking out Lindy's Locks Daily, if you're putting in the work to shop for the best odds, whether that's at Caesars, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, you're already ahead of the game. You're already putting yourself in a position to be a profitable bettor. So take advantage of these promotions while they're available to you and punish places like Caesars. Punish these sports books. So check it out. Bet 50, get $250 and five $50 bonus bets that will be paid out to you $50 immediately in a bonus bet, as well as $50 every Monday for the next 4 weeks consecutively. That will lead you into the NFL season, weeks 1, 2, 3, 4. That's great stuff, friends, over at Caesars Sportsbook when you sign up at the link below, only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Man, I quoted Disney musicals. I quoted a Disney musical. No more Disney musicals. On to the picks we go. You're welcome. Sorry, I had to do one more Disney musical. Can't believe it's The Rock singing that one, but you know, it is what it is. You know who's been rock steady? Garrett Cole here for the New York Yankees going up against the Detroit Tigers. What a fantastic spot for him to walk into, considering Detroit not the best when it comes to facing right-handed pitching. Just an 86 WRC plus with a 24.8% K rate that is fifth highest in baseball, tied for fifth highest with the San Francisco Giants. So just saying, they're not exactly good. Alex Fado, we're going to fade him. Actually, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, mainly because plus 1.5 is the only thing that remotely makes sense here. You're walking into Yankee Stadium. Yankees are playing a lot of dudes that, you know, you've never heard of, that I've never heard of, that are, you know, apparently better than anybody that they've had rolling out there on a daily basis. This Jason Dominguez character keeps hitting home run after home run. I mean, he might be end up. Harrison Bader, they just literally gave up on, even though they traded Jordan Montgomery for him. Dumb. Very dumb. Don't do that. How many times have I said that on this program this year? A lot is the answer. I'm also going to tell you not to bet this, even though Garrett Cole does make sense as the guy. If you're batting a money line, trying to parlay a million things together, he's really good. 27.1% K rate, 297 xWOBA. But Alex Fado, the one thing he's good at is limiting hard contact, 34.1%. That's what you need to do here in Yankee Stadium. But if they roll out the A team, you know, they're in the Class A team, stuck in their daydream, been this way since 18. Shout out Ed Sheeran. He's a real one. I think Detroit plus 1.5 would be the side to be on, but I'm just staying away from this game entirely. Again, it's a huge gap that we're looking at here, plus 205, but then the run line turns into minus 105, and the New York money line moves outside of $1 to minus 110. This game makes no sense to me, and generally when I see stuff like this, I just say, well, I have 14 other games to choose from. It's like focusing on that ex-girlfriend who's just not a good person. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or boyfriend. Don't focus on that guy either. He's a dick. Detroit plus 1.5, just a lean. We have lots of fish in the sea, and this, friends, is not one of them. The New York Mets taking on the Washington Nationals. Jose Quintana and Patrick Corbin, a pair of southpaws. My God, am I not excited to watch this? And it's insane because I didn't even know this when I started an analysis on this game. But the Mets are only up like a game and a half. They're 67-74. The Washington Nationals are 62-76. That's how bad the Mets are this season. I never think about things in terms of record, but sometimes you just run into a number that doesn't quite make sense to you. And that hurts my brain a little bit, just like it hurts my brain to think or exist on a daily basis. But Jose Quintana, friends, he's been really, really good so far this season. 34.3% hard hit percentage. Doesn't get the strikeouts we're accustomed to, just 17.9%. But he's keeping the ball in the yard, doing the things to be like a semi-successful pitcher. And overall, just he's there. That's where you are. You're there. Patrick Corbin's terrible, though. My God. 4.90 ERA, 1.50 whip. Nothing is awesome. Nothing is cool when he's part of the team. And that's where the over kind of steps up to the plate here, mainly because I do expect Jose Quintana to have some form of negative regression. He's got a 262 expected batting average, a 10.3% walk rate, which results in a 325 xWOBA. And yet he has somehow, some way finagled himself. Yes, word of the day, finagled himself into a 3.26 ERA. What? Rappy? Think there's going to be a problem there eventually. Trouble right here in River City with a capital T in their eyes and P, and that stands for pass over 9. Just going to be a lean for me. All right. I have 2 of these on the card, and this is the spot that I've been looking forward to talking about so far out of everything that we've talked about thus far, mainly because we haven't had a lock, but I do think we look at a potential lock situation here. Atlanta going back to their home base here. You got Miles Mikolas as the announced starter here, but I do think that this is a spot where Atlanta's got to call up Michael Soroka. You might be familiar with the name if you're a baseball fan. If you're not, buckle up, because this could be a wonky type line. Why does my hair stick up like that today? It's like Ace Ventura, but like the tiny version. Alrighty then. Back to the baseball. Miles Mikolas, friends, he has not been good, not what they paid for, not as good as advertised, that's for sure. He's facing the team that leads baseball in home runs, in runs created, in pretty much every metric. Miles Mikolas, a 284 expected batting average, a 341 xWOBA, and just a 16% K rate. Best of luck to you, friend. Best of luck to you. But I have Atlanta, and I just put Atlanta in the bottom bar here. I'm not sure if producer Alicia just put Atlanta. I didn't put money line or -1.5. Doesn't matter. What I want to point out is that Michael Soroka has been awesome at the AAA level, and they've just tried to monitor his innings. As I look through stuff, they've done a really good job because he ended up getting hurt, got brought out of the bigs, sitting at the 5th it was. They ended up extending him another couple games past the All-Star break for his first start. Then they started limiting his innings after a start against Milwaukee on the 21st of July it was. He has not pitched all of August. He went down to AAA, but at AAA, friends, he's been mowing dudes down. And this is the example of a great organization making great decisions for what they need to do in the short term for their year to win the World Series, as opposed to like, hey, we're going to just win every game that we possibly can right now. Like, I guess it's more of the long term for this season than the short. Whatever. Michael Soroka, 1.62 ERA, 0.90 whip, 25 5Ks per walk in August at AAA Gwinnett. AAA Gwinnett. Gwinnett, that is like what you would name your child in 1904. But either way, AAA Gwinnett, that is where he's been hanging out. Michael Soroka, just saying, I think he could come in and just mow dudes down on the St. Louis side. Yes, this lineup has not been the problem for St. Louis all season long. In fact, they carry a 108 WRC plus here against right-handed pitching like Michael Soroka. He's also struggled with a 5.52 ERA, 1.47 whip during the course of the season. But friends, that's where I'm hoping the books post a stale line immediately, looking at what is his entire major league sample size, especially this season, as opposed to some of the things at AAA. And this is maybe me being optimistic, but if this were to be inside of -155, I think this is a smash to the moon type situation against St. Louis. Now, I say this, I'm very aware this could be extended to -175, -185, but based on the numbers from today, I also think this is a potential lock situation on the run line if we're getting a plus money number attached to it. So I have 2 ways of thinking about this. I think they bash Miles Mikolas' face in. I'm looking at overs. I'm looking at Atlanta. I'm looking at everything in this game, but specifically, if it is Michael Soroka called up here, I am locking anything inside of -155 on the money line for the Braves, And I'm going to be paying close attention to that run line. Might try to double dip, because when I dip, you dip, we dip. I put your hands up on my hip. It's a great song. Sorry, everyone. I had to fix the hair. Dylan Cease on the mound going up against Brady Singer here in this one. And two pitchers that I think are still pretty good at what they do. And I get it. Brady Singer, you look at his year-long numbers. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's a little problematic. 5.15 ERA, 1.40 whip. But you know what? Sometimes those things don't matter to me the same way that I look at some of the peripheral numbers. And yes, 49.3% hard hit percentage is a disaster. A 274 expected batting average, you see stone cold disaster. But Dylan Cease on the other side too. He's like the last guy remaining there. He's the last of the Mohicans, if you will. Good movie. Daniel Day-Lewis. Does he make bad movies? I didn't like that last one he did. The one where he's like the scene guy, makes dresses and does. It's just a weird movie. I don't know. Daniel Day-Lewis, he knows things better than we do. Also, as Abraham Lincoln sounds like this the whole movie to me. But that's just me, friends. Dylan Cease. See, that would be annoying to me too. I just quoted Abraham Lincoln, or the idea of Abraham Lincoln, according to Daniel Day-Lewis on this program. Times are changing. I need to get to NFL fast. 373 expected slugging for Cease, 26.5% K rate. And yes, Kansas City, we locked to the moon. Knox and a moon. It worked out really nicely. 12-1, absolute murder in the streets from Monday. But in this spot, in this specific spot, I'm looking at backing both pitchers because I do think Brady Singer is better than we've looked at. I do think Dylan Cease is also looking at a pretty good spot. And 9, I think the only reason this isn't 8.5 on this spot, look at the weather. It's supposed to be 97 degrees with humidity in Kansas City for tomorrow. Gag me, no thank you. Actually, don't. I should never say gag me on this program again. But anyway, the White Sox, the Kansas City Royals. Yeah, you heard me. Under 9. Gag on that one. The San Francisco Giants taking on the Chicago Cubs. And whenever you see Mr. Walker here pitching for the Giants, you know it's a bullpen game immediately. He's only pitching like an inning or two, and that's just what they've done. They've changed him from like the 7th, 8th inning setup guy to an opener, just trying to get through the first couple batters, trying to set the stage for what's to come later in the game. And in this case, I think it's going to be Sean Manaea. And I say I think because there's one of the last 4 games that he showed up where he didn't play. They can do that. Gabe Kepler is just going to do stuff like that. So enjoy. It's not the best. But Kyle Hendricks on the mound on the other side, it's not like he's any good. And here's the thing. He's been good at limiting hard contact all season long. That's been his calling card. The only thing he's really good at, 31.4% 31.4% hard hit percentage, but just a 16.2% K rate and a 265 expected batting average. I guess he's good at limiting walks here as well, but not my favorite back considering you're going to get lefties in there for San Francisco. And I like this team when they're set up healthy with these guys from the left side. Your Lamont Wades, your Jock Petersons, your Mike Yastrzemskis, especially those last 2 names that I said, because Brandon Crawford's trash now. He's good at defense. He's always going to be good with a glove, but like everything else, not so fun. Anyway, Walker on the other side, it turns into Sean Manaea. I think Sean Manaea is somebody that has just been good in this like bullpen type role, good at the limiting of hard contact, 37.7% hard hit percentage, 241 expected batting average, 27.8% K rate. Starting to see some of that Oakland goodness that made him one of the top prospects in a San Francisco. Well, now he went across the bay. He was in San Diego. Now he's there. So he's just been, cruising USA or the 101, the PCH, if you will. Chill. Pacific Coast Highway, bro. Chill. Bro, chill. Shout out Jordan Klein. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't have anything for this one. San Francisco money line, if it shows up and it has some plus money attached to it, I might take a gander at it. But more than likely, this game is going to be trash when this line drops. If you want to try to flip coins and figure it out, enjoy. But I do expect them to wait because we had the wind blowing out today. Didn't matter. We hit that under. That was fun. Shout out Justin Steele. What a real one. But don't think Kyle Hendricks is Justin Steele. Oh, one of the locks that I hit on Monday. Hopefully you're checking out Lindy's Locks update every single Monday through Friday over on my Twitter/X. You simply look up my name at Eric Lindquist. I'm providing you updates on my locks or other plays that are showing out. And man, this floodlight is really bright today. I got a new floodlight and it's like taking out the bee behind me. And then there's another little light and Might as well just point out all the faults in my background, just like I'm going to point out all the faults with Framber Valdez here in this spot, going up against Dane Dunning. But more faults on the Framber Valdez side, considering he's still priced like he's an elite pitcher from time to time. And that is not what we have ran into so far this season. Does he still have a pretty decent ground ball rate, 55.6%? Yes. But that is negative regression when we're talking about his entire career-long numbers. And last year, sitting north of 64%. Pretty wild stuff. Now, Dane Dunning is the announced starter here. We have an NA on this side of the screen, but I want to at least warn you that there is a chance Nathan Eovaldi ends up being the starter here in this spot. Now, I say this because they have kind of not pulled the trigger on Nathan Eovaldi coming up and starting in one of these spots here yet. He's going to be activated on Tuesday. That doesn't mean that he's going to be starting here. So Dane Dunning is either going to start tomorrow or Nathan Eovaldi is going to be pushed. And that's why the books don't have a line out here yet. Still with me? Cool. Good talk. Glad we had it. Now, I'm going to be backing, I think, Texas either way this goes. Now, Dane Dunning is not the exciting of the two backs, that's for sure. But he's also just the guy that I think overall is the much worse pitcher, and you're going to be getting a better price on Texas, because even if we get limited numbers from Nathan Eovaldi, he's been having a career season. 2.69 ERA, 7.1% walk rate is up from his career number of 6.2%, but like everything across the board has gotten back to what the Boston Red Sox were hoping to get out of Nathan Eovaldi in the tail end of that contract. They didn't get it. The Texas Rangers got it, and he was throwing velocity, but then this forearm tightness thing showed up and rip. This is somebody who bet Nathan Eovaldi to win a Cy Young today. You know what I can do with that $100? I can shove it, because he is not winning jack diddly squat. Could have given that to charity or just not bet it. It's always the answer is like maybe bet less dumb things. I don't know. Justin Steele's got a shot now. I only bet $50 on him, but you know, sitting outside of 15 to 1 on that. Felt good about it. You guys don't really care. Let's talk about Framber Valdez. Sounds good, huh? So the 55.6% ground ball percentage, that's not exactly bad, but 45.6% hard hit percentage, 249 expected batting average. And as you look at this Texas lineup, the lefties are still going to smash Valdez, considering they're Corey Seager and basically only Corey Seager. So like Corey Seager's really good at baseball, and you should just continue to back him here. But you got a 156 expected batting average against righties for Framber Valdez and a 276 WOBA. He's got the 321 WOBA against lefties, so it's actually been worse. And so if, you know, Mr. Lau shows up in the lineup, such as Light, even though he's been terrible against lefties, and maybe they don't want to have him out there all the time. Only 3 homers against, 115 expected ISO. That's not good. But Adolis Garcia, 266 expected ISO. You got Mitch Garver, 168 expected ISO with a 436 BABIP. That's little negative regression incoming. Still yet to hit a home run against a lefty yet this year. That might interest you in something if it's better than plus 425 there. I don't know. He cashed us inside of plus 300 today, and I didn't give a shit. It was beautiful. Just give me that money, honey. Johnny Manziel, another Netflix documentary that if you have not seen that shit, you need to do it tonight. There's only, everybody plays Texas or plays football, plays high school football in Texas. Only 2 ways, or if you're, well, I can't say it here on this program. Just go watch it, enjoy it. It's like in the first 5 minutes of it. You'll say it quick. And then you watch him just do drugs and stuff. Actually, you won't see him do drugs, but he will do them, and you'll be able to tell because he's like literally not looking at iPads. And anyway, similar to earlier on this card, I talked about it. Instead of just flat out Atlanta, I am only focused on the Texas money line here. Going to be paying attention to the starting pitching. Hopefully you're still following me. I wouldn't really judge you if you skipped ahead now. Let's go to next game. Baltimore, hey, we're going to be sweating hard here on Monday night. The last of 3 locks that didn't fire it up here on this one. Ended up on the run line as well. So looking forward to that. Going up against these Los Angeles Angels and Shohei Ohtani, right oblique tightness. That's what I looked up for you. That's what he got scratched with on Monday. I want to be firing this one up rather quickly here. Now, I called this a lean. It would be an absolute like immediately if Shohei Ohtani was not going to be in this lineup. Now, is he just getting a routine day off? Again, LA, they've been waving the white flag. They just said, hey, you want Grichuk? You want Hunter Renfroe, you want any of these dudes? Come get them. And teams went and got them. Lucas Giolito gave up infinity runs, 9 earned against my Twins today. Thanks for coming. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Anyway, here in this spot, Baltimore with Dean Kramer. You're not backing him for Dean Kramer. You're backing him because you've got behind the dish Adley Rutschman, who might be God reincarnated as a baseball player. He is so beautiful and so handsome and so lovely and so easy to cheer for. And on the other side of this one, Reed Detmers. This is where it gets a little bit dicey because he has a 43% hard hit percentage, 26.2% K rate, though, that comes along with a 5.9% barrel percentage. So he can limit barrels and get strikeouts, but he gives up hard contact when it does show up. You got enough righties here with, Ryan Mountcastle, with Anthony Santander. He's better from the left side, but I digress. Jordan Westberg, 47.5% hard hit percentage so far in his big league career. I expect positive regression for his bat. And Austin Hayes, 436 expected slugging. Who expected that? Not me. Not me. But I'm going to bet him here. Minus 140. Going to like it here now with Shohei Ohtani scratched. I'm going to actually try to get that in here right now. I'm sure the books adjusted something here. But Baltimore money line, a lean if there is Ohtani, a like if there isn't. And I'm assuming there won't be tomorrow now. Friends, 3 games to go. We've reached the lock portion of our program, so hit that like button for good karma as we cover Colorado and Arizona. I ended up on Arizona minus 1.5, and I wish I had put more on that, not just because it won 4-2, but because the more I looked at some of these pitching matches coming down the pipeline, Merrill Kelly, some of these other spots, this is probably the most uncomfortable pitching spot because, again, you feel pretty good about backing Mr. Merrill Kelly. Zach Davies outperformed his coverage. I don't even know what to make of what happened on Sunday for that one to get him the hell out of here. And then your Cy Young favorite, Zach Gallen, just been mowing dudes down here for Arizona as well. But I think this is the Brandon Pfaadt spot that we've been waiting for. And I think we're getting a massive discount on it. Let's talk through it. Kyle Freeland on the mound here for Colorado. Let's start with him, actually. The southpaw, wild. When you see that he's had worse numbers outside of Coors Field than he has on the road this season. And that's always one of the things that I like to highlight, look at for pitchers is, well, you get them out of Coors, you got to expect them to perform better, right? Oh, for Kyle Freeland, you would be wrong. His home numbers, 5.06 ERA, 1.49 whip, 5.32 ERA, and a 1.45 whip on the away side of things. So a little bit worse ERA. Batting average, though, giving up a 303 batting average on the road, 292 at home. Pretty wild splits that we're looking at there. 12 games started on the road, 14 at home. He's 1-9 on the road. They're 4-5 at home. These are just kind of like inexplicable type things that we're looking at here. Do I expect him to be a worse pitcher there? No, but he's faced Arizona twice this season. He has a 6.17 ERA against them as well. So again, I'm not a huge hey, you faced this team twice, you got hit up twice. It makes sense. Arizona's a better baseball team than Colorado, or than the average baseball team in baseball this season. So these aren't completely surprising facts, but this is a ballpark upgrade, obviously, for Kyle Freeland. Do I expect him to be completely terrible? No. But I expect this Arizona lineup to perform just well enough here against some of these lefties. And yes, it neutralizes Corbin Carroll, who has not been good against lefties. So you have to change him from first to 6th or 7th in the batting order. They've kind of flip-flopped with it. And Arizona carries just a 92 WRC plus, but a 20.5% K rate. So avoiding strikeouts there against Southpaws this season. But Brandon Pfaadt is really the guy that I want to highlight centerfold of the entire thing. Your Angel is the centerfold. Angel is the centerfold. My blood runs cold. I'm getting distracted by myself. Brandon Pfaadt, 45.7% hard hit percentage, 42 expected slugging. Hasn't been very good at the big league level with an 11.7% barrel percentage. But I like some of the changes that they've made for this prospect. He has a 5.03 expected ERA, but a 6.21 ERA. That has been a little bit unlucky. And then look at some of these starts that he's had on the road recently. At San Diego, at LA. Got hit up he got hit in the LA one. The San Diego one, he was sublime and it looked good. San Francisco, he's faced the Dodgers multiple times now. 2 times over the course of his 14 games that he started here at the big league level. But Cincinnati, couple against San Francisco, Boston, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. He's ran into a lot of really good, talented teams. That's why he's 1-7. That's why he's got a 6.21 ERA, because you go back to his AAA numbers, and the PCL is a disaster to try to figure out exactly how pitchers are going to translate from the minor league level to here. And he pitched in Reno, which is the worst of the worst. But last year, at Reno, in 10 games started, he had a 2.63 ERA and a .99 whip. Coming into this year, and then when he got sent to AAA and then he came back, he's had 12 starts at AAA Reno this season, 3.71 ERA, 1.24 whip. You don't get those kind of numbers unless you've got some really good stuff. So I am chalking up a small sample size to Brandon Pfaadt's inadequacies at the big league level thus far. And I think a run line at plus money is shot to the moon here against Colorado, who is so bad against righties on the season. A 24.8% K rate and just an 82 WRC plus that is dead last in baseball. So the worst offense needs a pitcher I expect positive regression for. Friends, that can only mean one thing and one thing alone. We are locking Arizona. My favorite play, bar none, only a lock on the board, coming off of 3-11 games on Monday. One that I have for this massive 15 gamer. If anything gets added, you know where to go. Head to my Twitter /X at Eric Lindquist. Look me up. I'll be firing up them locks. We go from that to this. Okay, cool. Toronto Blue Jays, Chris Bassett going up against Zach Neal here. And Zach Neal, I don't know what to make of some of the K stuff because it's, I don't know, it's a very small sample size, but 21.4% to both, lefties, righties alike. And I do think Ken Waldichuk could get moved into this spot because it ended up being not Ken Waldichuk starting here on Monday. I didn't even see if he ended up showing up here, but Neal is the official announced starter, which is weird to me. Do they just want to do my Ken Waldichuk bit more? Sad. Whatever. We're going to focus on Chris Bassett here, mainly because I think there's an obvious path to targeting him with lefty power going forward. Against righties, he's been pretty shut down and shutting them down from a power perspective. Only a 19.4% K rate against them, but a 104 ISO and a 131 expected ISO. That's really good. But he's got a lefty problem. Chris Bassett this season, a 257 ISO and a 216 expected slugging with a 19.6 degree average launch angle. I get that it's Oakland. I get that it's a tough ballpark to hit it out of, but there's some guys at the top of this Oakland lineup that I find to actually be serviceable big leaguers, and one of those guys is Seth Brown. Now, I was going through it. Do I want to target Noda? Lefty there. Only a 171 expected ISO, although it does have a 17.9 degree launch angle, so I'm going to be paying attention to his numbers. Trent Rooker. He's a righty, but a 223 expected ISO against righties and a 19.4 degree average launch angle with 16 home runs against him. That's a decent enough spot. I landed on Seth Brown because he carries that 251 expected ISO, 19.1 degree average launch angle, and 13 homers against righties on the season. That 19.1 degree average launch angle, you marry it with the 19.4 degree launch angle for Mr. Chris Bassett here with the massive ISO, massive X ISO. Give me all of that you got in a bag of potato chips. Anything better than plus 400. Yes, plus 400 in this cavernous Oakland Coliseum, which only has a month of baseball left, possibly in its history. Ooh, going to Vegas. Waking up in Vegas, shut up and put your money on Seth Brown tomorrow. That's it. And our last game of the night, we have Michael Lorenzen going up against this Avila character yet again. And my God, what am I doing here? I'm actually going to recommend a play here on backing these pitchers. I have problems. Now, Michael Lorenzen, he has a no-hitter now on his record. Yay, congratulations. That doesn't help you today, and you're facing San Diego that's been a headache in terms of run creation. But Michael Lorenzen has started to lose a little bit of that luster after that no-hitter. Looks like he got worked a little bit too hard there, if you ask me, because they gave him an extra couple days off. He had 9 days off from the no-hitter to facing that same Washington team, and then all of a sudden, he's given up 6 earned against them. This is why you should throw no-hitters out the window, and I get it. I'm the same kind of guy who says, as a fan of the game, if I were attending the game and somebody had a no-hitter going, I'd want to push them as far as possible. But he threw 124 pitches against Washington in that spot. Next time out gets drilled, pitches just 74 pitches. Then he faces the Giants, 4 earned, 93 pitches. Then 3 earned up against the Angels, 88 pitches. So I do think that we're expecting him to he should be okay to go here, but maybe don't have him go 124 pitches to hit just a regular run-of-the-mill no-hitter, but I'm sure him and his family are going to enjoy that for years to come. So thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. Tastes like you, only sweeter. Oh, whoa. It's Fallout Boy for anybody who cares. Anybody care about the other side of this one? Because Pedro Avila has been pretty good as a starter. 321 expected slugging, 27.2% K rate, but we're looking at some concerns in terms of pitch count for him, but that turns it over to a bullpen. It's okay. Again, Avila, 2.67 ERA, 1.39 whip, very small sample size, just 30 1/3 big league innings this season, but so far so good. My God, I'm going to bet an under here in this one. I'm mainly doing this under of 8.5 because it's attached to a plus money number, plus 102 at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's minus 105 at FanDuel, so do not be betting this at minus 105 if you're listening to me right now. But if this didn't have plus money attached to it, I wouldn't have any interest. Even money's kind of the cutoff for it. But under 8.5 at plus 102, it's a very thin play, probably the thinnest on the card here. But I don't want to leave you with a lean, so there you go. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on this Tuesday slate. Going to be a good one. Going to be a fun one. Hopefully we can keep this momentum from Money Monday. Freudian slip. Money Monday that we had, we can roll it into totally took the books down Tuesday. Something like that. I can work on that. Check out Caesar Sportsbook, though. You bet $50, get $250. That's $5 $50 bonus bets, only for 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please go and enter a gambler. But head down to that comment section below. Hit that little, what is it? The website thingy. A link. It's a link. That's what it is. I need to go to bed, guys. Labor Day. Been working all day. Thought it was supposed to be a holiday, but here we are. I'm glad we were, though. Go Baltimore tonight. Going to be a fun one for me to watch on Monday night. Hopefully on Tuesday, everything can hit for us once again. Check out Lindy's Locks update over on the Twitter/X. And thank you to producer Alicia. Back in the saddle. She's back in the saddle again. Shout out Aerosmith. Until next time, friends, I'll be back Wednesday. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.